Right. I think we're live. I hope we're live. If we are live, let me know. Drop a comment down below. Let me put my little, oh no. Is it working? I don't know, we'll see. If you're live, do let me know in the comments down below. I think have I got the right scene? Nah, it doesn't matter. No one cares. So obviously, if you can see me, drop a comment down below and let me know that you're here. Number two is obviously I'm going to answer your Amazon FBA questions or Amazon questions. Number three, I'll kind of also let you know some good news. I've got my Instagram account back, which is good. If anyone wants to know, lots of people, it seems like they lost their Instagram accounts over the weekend. Apparently, I was pretending to be someone famous. I was like, I'm not famous, so I'm only pretending to be me. It's like, how does that work? And they're like, we're sorry, you can't even appeal, so it's a nightmare. Right, let me just check if we are actually live, and then we'll go from there. So Tom's going to turn down his volume. Oh, yeah, we're live. Woohoo. See me on, there we go. That is me on, thingy. Does my camera come back? Oh, it comes back. Yeah, very good. And then let's go to YouTube. So if you're here, drop a comment, let me know down below. Be like, hi, Tom. Fast Track FBA. Are we live? I think we're live. Yeah, we're live. Oh, look at that. Yeah. That's a really good image, isn't it? That's really good. I like that. Right, let's give you a little bit of an update on my business while you're here. So as you know, Kiehl's has now been blocked in the US. So it was Clinique. Clinique you couldn't sell, so they basically brand gated Clinique permanently. Now it's Kiehl's that have been blocked. I wonder what's next. Someone told me there's some other brands owned by Clinique which also you say the same parent company, which are likely to be blocked, or like they think so because of it's the same parent company. So we'll see. So if you look at Kiehl's, Clinique, like it'd be very interesting to see like why are those the ones blocked, for example, what's going on. That would be very interesting. So if you guys are here, just drop me a hi down below. I want to make sure my thing, no one's saying anything. No one's like even like going hi. Anyone? Hello? Anyone there? Let me do this. Hello, anyone there? Hello, anyone there? Hello, anyone here? So if you're here, drop a comment down below. Look, it's working. The little chat thing down here is working. Yeah, right. I'll give you an update on my business from Seller Academy Group because I did it today. So I did weekly check-in. What are you working on? So I said, number one, I said to my team, you're going to love this. I said to my team this week, I think I can beat them in sourcing. Hashtag, don't put pressure on me. So I'm going to do 1 week of sourcing this week. And also I do have a day job, which is called running 2 companies and doing like conversations with you guys. So I'm going to do 1 week of wholesale, which is what we're doing, and seeing if I can beat them, which is great. So you might be like, where you go, Tom? Really, really good. Because obviously I just want to refine our processes and make sure we're good. So if I have a week competition, I'll be happy with that. Now, number 2 is I need to get some brands ungated, which is fine. But number 3, which is like, what do you think you're going to have trouble with, or like the thing? Well, I said I'm going to challenge my team to beat them in sourcing. Normally they do about 5,000 spend per VA per week. Last week we did $11,500 spend per VA per week, which was like really amazing. But I did obviously agree to say that I was going to do a competition this week trying to beat them, and last week they absolutely smashed it. So if I can find 12 grand's worth of deals, living the dream. So wish me luck. I think it's going to be a long, lonely weekend. Sultan said hi. Hey, Sultan. How are you? How can I help you today? Let me know how you're getting on with the business. Are you challenging your staff to beat them in sourcing? I've got to try and beat 12 grand. Like, I'll probably have, like, it's going to be a lot of work. So I've got some ideas. I've got some really good ideas of how I'm going to approach it. And I've been playing over the weekend, so we'll see. If you want to know, long story short, one of the key metrics we looked at within like just spend, because I've been talking about this for a long time, is should we say how to spend more money. So what we've done is we basically, when we do our analysis of the supplier sheets, we basically take the estimated sales and we multiply it by the buy price. And while the estimated sales are rubbish, like they're never very accurate. What we do is say if that number, the output of estimated sales multiplied by buy price, is less than $400, we don't even bother looking at it. And the reason why is because when you think about having a supplier list, you just want to look at the top most expensive part first, you know, spend versus estimated sales. And if that comes in pretty good, then I would look at the bottom half. But there's no point trying to do the whole sheet, i.e. look at the bottom half, if you just like, if it's just not worth it. Like, I don't like, because if you can't get the spend to hit minimum order, it's not worth it. I mean, some of the suppliers we've opened up, they're going like 10, 20, 40,000 minimum order quantity. And I'm like, I'm probably not going to be doing 40,000, but 5, 10, maybe 20 I might consider. But there's no point analyzing the slower selling ones and if the bigger ones never make it. So that's my point. Hey Ravi, how are you? Let me know if you've got questions, drop them down below. Honestly, I will help you out. So I'm doing a week's worth of sourcing. Keels is blocked this week, which isn't too bad, but I have sold Keels before, so that's annoying. It's just another brand blocked. But I think the interesting one is there are lots of other brands that, that you can sell. Amazon's a big marketplace, so that makes sense. And I have my Facebook account back now, which is really, really interesting. So if you ever want to know, I will show you this. I think this is really interesting. Sultan said, I want to confirm that in OA we can purchase from retail as well as wholesale. So when you talk about OA, let's put it this way. OA is a term that we use called online arbitrage or retail arbitrage or wholesale, for example. It's a term that we as sellers use. It's not a term that Amazon uses. Amazon just uses the term supply chain, i.e. where the products come through the supply chain. That's really the technical term, but we just call it, we describe the supply chain in different ways: OA, RA, wholesale, manufacturer, distributor, for example. So Amazon doesn't look at them any differently, but what they do say, and you've got to be careful here, for the purposes of ungating and restriction, it does need to come from manufacturer, brand, or wholesaler. Cool. But for everything else, we have seen through evidence that Amazon has allowed, for the purposes of product authenticity, if you are using big box retail stores, Walmart for example, then they have accepted those invoices. We have seen it in the past. I'm not saying they will in the future, but we have seen it in the past many times, whereby they have accepted those invoices as the products are authentic. Now, sometimes, if you are buying from Tom's corner store, they might not accept that invoice, and they might ask you then for what's known as the supplier's invoice. So they want to know where Tom's corner store got his supplier from, like where he bought from. So, and Tom ain't going to show you his invoice, so that kind of stops dead there. But they're not going to, we've never seen it whereby they've said, can Walmart please show us where they're buying their products from? So that's an interesting thing. So Sultan, let me know if that answers your question. Yes, you can purchase from it. We have not seen problems whereby buying in big box stores has caused a problem for products inauthentic, but it will not get you ungated. It might do. Some people have done it. But by the way, I know some people who've put in, should we say, blank sheets of paper and then got ungated that way. So I hope that makes sense. Let me show you a wonderful picture, which is from, 1 second. Yeah, so 1 second. Let me show you a wonderful picture of, I don't know, someone asked me the message today. They said, did you get your account blocked? And I was like, yes, I did. But I'm going to show you because I think it's quite funny. They're like, can I go to that? So back. I don't know where it is. Maybe it was in my, here we go, 1 second. I'll show you this. This is quite funny because it's like, what have they said? Where we go? This is my family group. I'll show you this if I can. Here we go. This is quite funny. So this is my Instagram account, if anyone wants to know. See if you can read that. So this is me. We have suspended your account because you are pretending to be someone else. Which is like, there you go. Because you'll pretend to be someone well known or speak for them without permission. I was like, it's me. I'm trying to be me. How dare you? It's hilarious. Examples of the things we don't allow. Creating an account that looks and belongs to a celebrity. Maybe I'm a celebrity. I don't think I am. Using photos of someone famous to deceive people. Well, I don't think I'm famous, so no. Then creating content that pretends to speak for a public figure. Well, I'm not a politician. Look, you can see there. It's like hilarious. Can you read that? Examples of things we don't allow. Creating an account that belongs to a celebrity. It's like, I'm a celebrity. And it was really bad, honestly. Literally, I said, appeal. 10 seconds later, rejected. We've reviewed your account. I was like, you have not reviewed my account. So absolutely hilarious. Right, let's go through. Cosmetics World, can you share some filter or some strategies for OA for UK? Yeah, my God, I've shared loads. Long story short, okay, let's just make it really, really simple. I've talked about this before, but I'll talk about it again. You're basically like, how do I find profitable products? So stop thinking about it as how do I find profitable products. Think about it, how do I get rid of unprofitable products? So there's a couple of things you want to think about. Number one, let's make it really simple. What categories can you sell in? Or which categories can you not sell in? Stop looking at those. Cool. of the categories that you can sell in, which are left, what brands can you sell? Cool, look for those. Maybe you want to focus down in a certain category, fantastic. Now, of the categories and brands that are left, which ones should you not sell because of IP complaints? Cool, get rid of those. Now what you might do is you might look on the listing and find other sellers, and you can look at their storefronts, for example, and see what they're selling. That's a really good way of finding brands that lots of other resellers are selling, so you can identify which are really good brands. Now generally, if there's like a brand that no one else is reselling but you can sell it, there's probably a reason why, because they're just not really profitable, they're not easy to get hold of. But there's lots of sellers selling it, then you're like, there's probably going to be quite a lot of market discrepancy, between one supplier to another, to Amazon, for example. So that's where you can arbitrage. So that's a really good example. Then once you're in that, is like, okay, so you know brands, you know categories, that you're going for. Then you think about which suppliers can I buy from? Can they let me buy in bulk? Can I use discount codes? Can I use voucher cards? All these things which is just going to help you filter down and really help out. If you're OA and you're doing USA or UK, for example, and you're over the VAT reg threshold, you can do things like 0% VAT. They're an opportunity as well. There's a lot of different ways, but really what you're trying to do is focus down, create a competitive advantage, and you will see it through your data. And what do I mean by that? Look at your products which are selling, look at which ones have low ROIs, which ones have high ROIs, and just start figuring out why are the low ones low, what is it about them, is it supply, is it brand, is it they sent out a big newsletter with 50% off on the spreadsheet, or is it the fact that they're high because of some other reasons? Find the correlations and just keep learning and adapting, that's it. It's hard, but by the way, being able to build a business that you can run from anywhere in the world remotely without having to deal with a single customer, making millions of dollars a year in sales and even in profits if you do it well. And I'm not saying that I'm making millions of dollars a year in profits, but what I am saying is like the opportunity is really large. And so therefore it's never going to be easy because so many people like the dream. So understand that. But also that's good because a lot of people give up. Hope that helps. Eric. Hey, Eric. I love your KJ. I love the icon. I thought it was like some cool hair, like some kind of cartoon hair. I love it. Ravi laughs. Yeah, I laughed. You say I laughed. I had an awful Friday. I was like, what? I just got an email saying my account's been blocked. What? I got an email saying I can't appeal. Well, that's 5,000 subscribers gone. Thanks, Facebook. Nothing. Couldn't even do anything. Cosmetics World, can you share your Facebook account or any other group? Fast Track FBA? Yeah. I don't understand what you mean. Like, you can look at Facebook. Yeah. Fast Track FBA. I got it back now, so I'm super happy. So thank you. Cosmetics World, check that out. I think you'll like it. Sultan, thanks for answering. No problem, Sultan. JGL2. I saw a comment of yours today. I think you mentioned something and I said, no, we can't do that. I'm not too sure. I forgot what it was. Hey, Tom. I just finishing ordering some good deals that just went back in stock. Already out of stock again now. God damn it. By the way, top tip for you. I'm assuming, you're saying that out of stock in Amazon, or it could be with a supplier, doesn't really matter. What I would really be thinking about is, so I'll share this with you because I think it's a good tip. We do it in our business. Every single time we have a product that we buy, the moment my purchasing manager or even myself, every time we review the deal, we start recording a Loom video. And if the deal's rubbish, delete the Loom video. If the deal's good, then we'll save the Loom video to the actual product. Now, the reason why this is good is because we can use that information to go back and understand stuff. For example, in your case, let's say, for example, the product's run out in Amazon. Well, it sold out way too quick. What did I not see that I should have seen in the data when I did my analysis that should have told me to buy more? That's a really important learning. Or perhaps maybe the supplier already sold out. Cool. Knowing that the supplier is now sold out, what could I have seen or done with that supplier to help me understand that they're about to sell out? For example, I could maybe have put 999 in the basket and see if it would let me do it. Or does it say, sorry, we only have 52 left. And had I known there's 52, I would have bought it. So maybe that's part of the way I purchase again. Number two, I could do Control-Shift-I, load up the HTML tags, and do Control-F and type in stock, for example, and maybe they might actually show the stock level in the supplier website. And I'm like, damn, that's really game-changing. So again, I'm trying to figure that out. Now, within my business, the video was really useful, and the reason why the video was really useful was because the sheer amount of times that my purchasers would make a purchase without scrolling down, going to the bottom where it says newsletter, and next to the newsletter it says get 10% off. And I'm like, you couldn't be bothered to scroll down, or like, did you not spot this? And they're like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's in the processing, it's in the process for purchasing, and I'm watching your video now and you didn't do it. And I'm like, I never want to see that again because you are costing me money right now. And they're like, okay, sorry. So if you ever have staff, it's a really good thing to do. But regardless of the staff side, recording the videos, watching them back, figuring out what went wrong or what could have gone better, should we say, is a really key point about learning, because should we say just above you, obviously, I think it's Sultan, or not Cosmetics World. Yeah, Cosmetic World said anything about OA. And like, I would say, like, going back to all your deals that you're doing really well and figuring out why. But also we do that. So we look back at the videos to say, why did they do well? Or why did they fail? You know, for example, it's like, oh, it's Holland and Barrett, and they've got a 3 for 2 deal in the UK, and it's got the big, like, 50% off banner at the top. You're like, well, of course they're all going to crash, so I need to be a bit careful. And everyone's going for that deal, where maybe, like, I should have bought the deal that wasn't as profitable because no one went for it, because everyone went for the really profitable one, but there was actually no sales velocity. So using the videos is so, so helpful. I hope that makes sense, JGO2. And then obviously you can support your stock outs or whatever's going on. So I hope that makes sense. Cosmetics World. Where we search more products, keeper or storefront. Okay, 1 second. I'm guessing you're trying to write, where do we search for more products? There is no answer per se. So if I try and support you in the way I'd think about it, number one, if I was doing storefront stalking, I would be using storefront stalking for a couple of reasons. One, I'd be trying to identify suppliers who are similar to me. Two, I'd be trying to look at the categories and the brands that they are sourcing in. Three, I would be trying to look at, within those categories and brands which I am also interested in, which products do they sell that I do not sell? For example, you can go get their storefront ID, put that into Keeper, download their ASIN list. Get your storefront ID, put it into Keeper, download your ASIN list, compare the two. Once you've compared the two, you're going to spot the ASINs which they are selling that you are not. So therefore, what I then do is go and try and find those ASINs that I do not sell. And I'm not really too interested in finding them right now profitably. I'm trying to find out where did they buy them and why did I not find them. So for example, there might be other sellers. That's really interesting. Now, if, for example, I now have a big list of suppliers, websites, for example, because I've done storefront stalking many times and I figured out certain brands or certain products that I did not know, then I notice one of these sellers has a sale on, and what I might do is I might go into Keeper, for example, and I might go, what are the key brands that I like to sell? For example, Nike, Adidas, Reebok. They're not, but I'm making it up. Now I might go, right, show me, I might go into Keeper Product Finder, and I might go, show me Nike, Adidas, Keeper, let's say sneakers, for example, where there is no Amazon on the listing, and they're sub 1,000 or 100,000 sales rank, and maybe the average 180 sales rank has been over or sub 100,000 as well, because sometimes they drop, you know, when they change listings. So I'd be looking at that. And then I'd download that list, for example. And that might be one way where I'm actually going, obviously that would be a huge list because those types of products would be like infinitely large and they might be in a certain category. So then I could use that list to go back to the supplier and find through their deals to see of all the deals they have, and they might have like 5,000 products on sale, I might go, these are the only ones that I'm looking for. But obviously if you did Nike, Adidas and Reebok, that'd be insanely large as well. So I wouldn't recommend doing it for such a big brand. But smaller brands like, you don't buy them because you're going to get an IP complaint, but like La Roche-Posay, for example, or it might be like, I don't know, what, I don't know, maybe Vaseline, you know, maybe you want like higher cost ones at $20 Vaseline. You might say, cool, well, like all of a sudden you're now going to be in a better place. So that's how I would use them to kind of like You're building a list, and then you can use that list to search against other stuff. Hope that makes sense, Cosmetics World. Let me know. Thanks a lot for your time. No, you're welcome. No problems. GGO2. I ordered some products that are great deals but low supply on suppliers, so I snapped it up and got out of stock. Oh, well done. Absolutely brilliant. So, if I'm in your place, what would I recommend? I'm assuming supplier has no issue with you buying them. So I would probably reach out to the supplier and say, I'm interested in buying more. When are you going to get them back in stock? You just want to see if they'll engage with you. So if they tell you the date, that's fine. Then that could be quite useful. Then depending on the size of the supplier, you might be like, is it worth placing a pre-order? Like, hey, any chance I could I'm interested in quite a lot of these. Would it be possible to place a pre-order? Ask the question. If you feel that you can get away with that, losing the account, by the way, it doesn't really matter. You just create a new one. There's no point in not asking the question. Obviously, you want to be able to put a significant sum down, call it 5,000. But if you can put down £5,000, fantastic, because obviously they're getting them from somewhere, and they've gone out of supply, come back in. So if you can say, hey, I will buy more from you in advance, I'll give you the money, can you get me those as well? They might be like, yeah. I know people who do that really, really well. So I'd be thinking about that, and then once by the way, even just asking the question, even if they say no, you might build the relationship, which might open up to sorry, we can't do it on that product, but if there's anything else that you'd like, you'd be like, fantastic. So then you're like, what else do you have that's out of stock? Possibly. So again, you should ask you. And then interesting enough, if those are out of stock, by the way, the other thing that I would do is go look for that product from all the other suppliers historically who are probably out of stock. Message them as well and ask them when they're getting back in stock, because you want to know if any of them will do the same as what you're about to do. Can you order in advance? Can you do things? And the very nature of that is the fact that you're able to build a relationship with the supplier for products which are in hot demand and get advanced orders or even advanced knowledge of when they're coming back in stock, which again is a competitive advantage which gives you an edge over anyone else. So for example, they might say, oh, we're getting 100 back in here, and this guy's saying, yeah, we've got 4,000 coming in, and you're like, the listing only sells 50, we've got a big problem. Or they might be like, it sells 50 and they're getting 20 and they're getting 20, and you'd be like, and they might tell you that's it, the manufacturer's done for the rest of the year. You might be like, cool, I'll buy everything. I'm on that day, calendar reminders, buy. Knowledge is key, and that's all business is the fact that you have a competitive advantage generally through knowledge than anyone else. That's it. I hope that makes sense, JGO2. Can you mention your video OA really tell you about the title? Oh, what? Can you mention your video related OA? Or can you tell about the title of some of your videos? I'm not. I have over 1,000 videos. I generally remember most of them, but I can't tell you the titles. I can remember roughly what I talked about, but I can't tell you that. Sorry. Please, if you can be a bit more specific, I can help you. By the way, if you're looking about the sourcing one, go to my YouTube channel, just go to videos, scroll down, it'll be top 100 suppliers. That's the one that I was really referencing to. It'll have on the title, top 100 suppliers. Click on that one. JGO2, haha, yep. I commented on a YouTube short that was motivational, wanted to know the video link. Yeah, and I said, yeah, it'll be one of the 1,000 plus, sorry. That was me commenting back, so yeah, cool. Right, Tali. Hey, thank you for providing such thorough information. Tom needs to learn how to read, story of my life, and spell. Your videos are very informative. Just a general question, do you find it harder every year to maintain profitability due to competition? Correct, yeah, 100%. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to drink tea, and then I'm going to tell you. I'm drinking tea because I've had 4 cups of coffee today, so I should probably calm down. It's only midday. So I understand what you're saying. I think it's Tali. So let me change it from Amazon to anything else that you could ever possibly think about. You are a farmer with a horse and cart 100 years ago. Do you find it harder to maintain profitability? Well, it may be one given year. The answer is yes, or no. But over a long enough time horizon, 100 years or even 10 years, the answer would be yes. Maybe you're a guy who owns a silk factory or a linen factory. Maybe you're a car company. Generally everything, unless some of the parts are very rare. For example, if you are buying Lego to resell, and Lego is a well-known product, because it has a finite supply, and really when you do what we're doing is called trade. We're just trading. We're buying something low, selling high. It's older than money itself, and that will always become more and more efficient as time goes on. For example, tools like Keeper, SellerAmp help you out, but you even have things like Tactical Arbitrage, Arbitrage Hero. And I'm not saying they're like the greatest things in the world, but they do make it more efficient. Those tools did not exist 10 years ago when Amazon started. So while in any one given year it might not feel like you have the profitability issue, when you look at it in a more high level over a given time period, you will always get this problem. So you might be asking the question like, why do I bother? Yeah, I get that, I do. But I want you to think about it slightly differently. So there's two things I want you to understand. One is that there are always going to be times whereby opportunities are really great. For example, Amazon when it first started, every year since then it's gotten harder and harder, and it will probably continue to go that way. New things people are talking about right now, like a year ago, 2 years ago, Walmart Marketplace, for example, in the US. I know a lot of people talking about now about like TikTok shops, for example. That's generally more private label. These things will come up and go, but it's really the question you've got to ask yourself is that you are never going to be able to build a business today which will last forever. No business has ever done that. The market is always changing. But what you are trying to do is you are trying to build a business today which gives you skills, which you are getting better at skills, which you can then therefore apply to new businesses. Now, it might still be a trading business, but it might not be Amazon in the future. So when you go into this game, like, I don't know how old you are. I'm 37, 38 next month. Woohoo, getting old. The way I look at this is like, yeah, you're right. It was a lot easier when I first started. And I shut down my UK business. We did 3.4 million because the margin was crashing. And I learned a lot from it. And did I feel horrible? Hell yeah. But I've learned from that challenge. And I've learned the value of having high standards, improving my experience, and improving the standards and the expectations of people around me and their operational efficiency, and in turn improving the profitability. I do not see this as I do 1 week's or 1 month or 1 year's worth of work and I get an outcome for the rest of my life. I see it as I'm on a journey to learn, and therefore I'm always learning. And why? Because unfortunately the underlying market is always changing. So therefore, if I'm not always learning, I'm declining. That's a really important point. So I hope that makes sense. So I thought it was an earthquake. I don't think it is. Right, let's go through. And that was like Tom's lecture. Sorry, I didn't mean to lecture you. But like it's a really good question, and you're right, it does get harder. Omar, hey Tom, I sent 150 units to Amazon, 3 different packages. 90 units got sold, but the other 60 is still showing as receiving. Cool. Why is it still saying receiving when UPS says delivered? Because you're right. Because Amazon have got a box stuck in their warehouse somewhere that no one's unpacked yet. That's it. It's like really annoying. And you're like, wow, it's really quick. And then it goes into transferring. So it's very likely that one of these boxes, so 2 of them got unpacked straight away, and the third one's going to somewhere else. And as a result, that's why it's like receiving or transferring, for example. It's a nightmare, it's annoying, but unfortunately, that's what Amazon do. So sorry. Hope that makes sense. JGO2, very useful tips about storefront stalking, especially about finding where they have purchased, even if it's not meeting the max cost price right now, finding new suppliers to explore. Agreed, really agreed. And then also as well, so let's put it this way, whether you're doing wholesale or whether you're doing OA, I think the analogy is exactly the same. Let's say, for example, I've been storefront stalking, I'm watching JGL2, I found his storefront, and I'm like, man, like this guy's killing it. Look at his reviews. I can see all his products. I'm like, wow, he's definitely selling the same as me, but he's killing it. So I'm like looking at his top brands. And then what happens is every time I find a new supplier or a new storefront or anything, my first port of call is not just start the supplier, is like, I'm going to focus on those brands. Why? Because I know those brands are generally going to be the most profitable brands around. So why am I not focusing just on them? And if that supplier has profitable products from those brands, then cool. Like, I'll search all the other brands in the supplier because they probably get a good price. But if those brands and that new supplier are not profitable, then I'm probably just wasting my time, because statistically speaking, the other sellers who are bigger than me, like JGL2, in this situation, he's found the profitable brands. And so therefore, he's telling me the answers in storefront stalking. So when I'm sourcing, I should just be looking at that. It's not to say that that will always be the case, but if you want an easier life, that's generally the way. Hope that makes sense. Hey, Jesse, long time no see. Hi, Tom. What time do you normally do a live? I always miss the beginning of it. I started about 30 minutes ago and have about 15 minutes left. So I think in the UK now it's what, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock? It's 6 o'clock. Yeah, 6 o'clock. It's in my time block, so I try and make it that. And I'm still umming and ahhing about changing it. And the reason why I'm umming and ahhing about changing it is because I don't know if I'm going to go to Argentina in May or if I'm going to go to Thailand. And if I'm Thailand, it's going to be a nightmare. But Argentina will be fine. So we'll figure it out. But I'll be back in the UK. My passport has actually run out of pages, by the way, which is a really nice problem to have. So I need a new passport. But hey, Jesse, good to see you. Ah, right. Thank you. Cool. No problem. Glad I could help you. JGO2, thanks, Tom. I've never reached out properly to a supplier, but that would definitely sound like the way to go. I will give it a shot. Yeah, see how it goes. By the way, they're likely to say no. They're likely to tell you to do one and say, do. Get lost. But you know what? You don't need, like, it's kind of like dating. Like, your friends will tell you, it's like, okay, it's like your parents will tell you she isn't the one or he isn't the one. And they're right. 99.99% of the time, but it doesn't matter because you only need them to be right. You only need to be right once. And when you think about suppliers, your friends will tell you, I wouldn't even bother calling the supplier, they're not going to work with you. And you're right, the majority of the time they are going to reject you, but you do not need the majority of them to accept you. You just need a few that you can have a good conversation with, whereby you can get in and get orders that other people cannot, and then therefore you now have a competitive advantage. And I will put it in this way. I don't know where anyone is, but I very much doubt that anyone listening to this YouTube channel right now, or not channel, this live right now, maybe even in the replay, they are not doing more than $10 million a year. And I will share this with you. I interviewed Dan, 1000 ASINs. He's an Amazon wholesaler. He does 12 million a year. Now he has 100 wholesale suppliers, but 6 of those 100 wholesale suppliers, just 6, generate over 6 million of his revenue. So what I want you to understand is you are not looking for 1,000 or 100 OA suppliers or whatever. You are just looking for a few good ones which will give you what you are looking for, and they can generate you millions in sales. And just like Dan explained, he has a few good wholesalers who give him millions in sales, which is game changing. That's what you're looking for. So definitely reach out and don't be scared of rejection. Right, Tom needs to hurry up. Alona? I hope I'm saying that right. I'm really bad. Sorry. Me and names are just like, I'm so bad. So please excuse me. Right, I was watching your YouTube videos. You're saying to train you are saying to train our VA, but I'm a beginner on Amazon. How can I train a VA? I'm looking for a ready professional VA. What can you advise? Okay, good question. So if you don't know, in the Fast Track FBA VA Academy, we've hired over 800 VAs for 400 clients. Now, the way I want you to understand and think about this, because I always say it when I have a conversation with clients, is, and this is before they buy a VA, by the way, is that there are generally 2 types of people you are going to hire in your life, in your business. One will be consultants. They are people who tell you what to do, and they are very helpful and they will direct you, but you cannot afford to pay them to work for you because they are just too expensive. It's because they are really the knowledge-based workers. They understand. And the best analogy I can give you for this, if you've ever seen the picture of the ship with the guy with a little hammer, and he basically walks around the ship for like half an hour, gets his hammer out, taps it once, and the ship comes back to life. And he gives the guy a bill for $100,000. And he's like, I'm not paying you $100,000 for half an hour's worth of work. And the guy with the hammer says, I'm sorry, I didn't itemize it. So then he writes, walking around the ship for half an hour, $20. Knowing where to hit the hammer with 50 years experience of knowing where to hit the hammer on the ship to make it work is 999,900, for example. And this is what you're paying for when you pay for consultants. You are paying for the knowledge that they have accumulated over time. Now, when you think about a VA is someone who understands how to do something, but they do not have the knowledge of how to apply it. I.e., the VA knows how to hit the hammer, but they do not know where to apply the hammer on the ship. And so therefore, you are only paying for the walking around, not the hitting. It is you who must be the one who points to where the hammer must be hit. So if you are looking to hire a trained VA who is going to tell you what to do, that's fine, but you are paying a premium for it. And I promise you, you are not going to get it because they just generally don't exist. If they do, they've already hired other VAs to do it for them, and they get financial backers, and they build the business. But even experienced VAs are not really experienced. And I promise I'll tell you this from example. But if you know what you're doing, you can then hire a VA, and you can point them where to hit the hammer, i.e. source, and they will go away and keep hitting the hammer, and they'll tell you, I'm doing it wrong. And instead of like going boing, 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 they're going doing, 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 and you're like, no, a little bit left, a little bit right, a little bit left, and bang, they hit it, and they go bang, and then you start making money. That is what you're looking for. So when you talk about, I'm looking for a professional VA, I understand exactly what you're saying, but what you're asking for, I'm sure you're not probably going to be wanting to pay a professional VA's wages, which would probably be something along the lines of $30 to $50 an hour, and then even then I question whether you can actually get it. So I know what you want, but I doubt that A, they exist in the market, B, if they did, I don't think you'd find them because it's such a rare skill set, and then C, if they did, I don't think you would pay the price for it, and then D, you're likely to get scammed. I use that word kind of lightly to say that you're likely to get scammed by someone who claiming they are, and then you won't know that they are not because you do not understand that they are not hitting the hammer in the right place. And you will not realize that they're not hitting the hammer in the right place for months, and when you've already invested thousands, tens of thousands into their products, whereby the new seller count is going up, the buy box might be price might be okay right now, but I promise you they're crashing because I've seen it too many times. Experienced VAs really a lot of the time mean that they just know how to sell the deals to more than one person. I hate to say it, so that's it. So do check us out, Fast Track FBA VA Academy. We're really good at finding great people who want to work for one client, who are really motivated, aligned with what you're doing, have the same salary expectations, so therefore do not sell your deals, and work incredibly hard, efficiently and due diligently, and they are trained to the standards which you need them to be to point them in the right direction of where to hit the hammer. I hope you like that analogy. Hope that makes sense. Jesse, hey again, can everyone please explain about supplier information? Will your supplier? No, like rarely, like 1% of the times, 1%, but rarely you're going to get it. Like supplier information is very rare. It's just because Amazon's saying we can't verify the supplier, which I understand if it's like Tommy's toy store, but like not for Walmart, for example. That wouldn't happen. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, it's like where Amazon can't verify a supplier, so they ask to see their supplier's invoice. It's like, that's not going to happen. Ravi, Tom, seems like you're doing more wholesale nowadays. No, it's because I'm doing more wholesale. My team are doing the OA side. So when we talk about what I'm talking about, like I'm not really doing OA. Like me, Tom, as in Tom personally, I'm not. My team do that. So like when we talk about like what my challenges are, then I talk about that side. So I hope that makes sense. It's not like I am personally doing more wholesale, but my business is not. So just topic of conversation today. It's because Tom likes talking, just talking. Right, Tom. Hi, I found a small electrical store who sells some fast-selling items TV sold in the past. I had a chat with them on the phone. The owner secured a really good deal on 10 units. Woohoo! If all goes well, I'd look to improve the relationship, have a conversation about shipping straight to Amazon, profit sharing, or could I be looking to establish as a provider? It's your choice. I think the question is before I'd even get into like profit sharing on Amazon, I'd be asking the question about like, what do they want? Like they might be like, look, mate, I just want to sell to you. Like I don't want a hassle. Like what does the guy you're building a relationship with want? He's like, no. Like if he's like, yeah, I want to sell on Amazon as well, then maybe you might want to have that conversation. Do remember you're taking the risk though through your Amazon store, or you've built the reputation on Amazon, and you're dealing with all the Amazon related hassle. So it's really up to you, but I would first of all, before you start saying, we could do this, understand what they want. It's basically like sales. Before you go into saying how good your product is, first of all, understand if the customer really wants what you're offering. So first figure out what do they want, like seek first to understand, then to be understood. So I hope that makes sense. When selling in the UK, did you sell much electronics items and how did you find the returns? Do you know what's really funny? We stopped selling in the UK maybe like just over a year ago. I'm still getting returns from 2 years ago. Literally yesterday, I was like, my UK account is negative £50. Why is it negative £50? And then I was like, someone returned a scanner. Thanks. So that was from back in 2022. I was like, how dare you? So they are higher. I think Amazon by default put 2 years on it, which is really frustrating, but it does happen. That'd be like, so yeah, that's my thoughts. Like, you definitely do it. Just make sure you get better margins in it, and obviously, Electronics Exchange have a lower referral fee. It's 7% rather than 15%. But it's super frustrating. I hope that makes sense. And it might be the case that you take less profits out of the company just to hold it back, but It's all hearsay. Some products are going to be great. I was actually, do you know Ring doorbells? I was selling them legit from the manufacturer before Amazon bought them. And the manufacturer called me up and said, you cannot sell the doorbells. The owner is going mental on Amazon, because I didn't realize they were selling to Amazon, and obviously I'm selling them. So that was really funny. I was like, haha. That was years ago. Like, it shows how long I've been in the game. Right, let's go through. Alona. That makes sense. So what do you recommend they do? Do you have a course for beginners? I do. Check out, okay, by the way, check out Fast Track FBA at the top Amazon seller. Check out that. It's like a beginner's course that's going to take you up to your first VA. So why do I recommend this? Yes, it has videos, it has training material, which is going to be really helpful. But number two, it has 3 calls a week, of which 2 calls are with my team. So you can speak to the trainers in our VA Academy. They're going to help guide you on like what to do sourcing wise, how to find your niche. You can even bring deals to the session. They'll analyze deals live on the screen. They're going to help you out. This is the top Amazon seller program. I think right now it's on basically it's like just a monthly fee, and I think normally it's 97, and right now it's 47. We've got like a promotion on at the moment. So you can join the calls every week with my team and get your deals analyzed. Number 2, you have a call once a week with me, which is a group call. They're all group calls, by the way. That we support you in answering questions like for your business. So if you want sourcing side, speak to my team. If you want again, you can do sourcing with me. But if you want like calls with me more, should we say privately, we can definitely do it in that. That's the way it works. And they're not like this where you're like writing questions. Like they're actually like video calls like Skype or Google Meet we use, should we say, whereby you can ask these questions. So that's the key thing. So check that out. For $47 a month is nothing. I think it'd be like, you'll absolutely love it. So check that out. And that'll get you where you need to be to learn what you need to do. And I think you mentioned you're based in Germany. Yeah, so we can't help you with German specific things, but the process of sourcing and selling on Amazon, yeah, fine. Like it's the same whether it be Germany, UK, USA, how you analyze graphs, what you're looking for, all those things is exactly the same, because it's just the same marketplace, same platform. Like it doesn't matter. We help Canadian sellers. I don't sell on Canada. But I can still analyze it. It's absolutely fine. So yeah, we do all that as well. And like VAT, my team understand, and so do I, because in the UK we have VAT. Super annoying, but we understand it. Hope that makes sense. Ravi says 2 years later, electrical returns. I know. It's like, It's like, just imagine all you did was electronics, and then like 2 years later you shut the business down and you're still getting returns. You're like, do you mind? Like, really? And Amazon's like, yeah, 10 years later, don't worry about it. We'll return that like 1940s IBM computer with 4 megabytes of RAM or something because there's a scratch on it from 10 years later. I have no idea. Guys, I've got like 1 or 2 minutes left. Drop your comments down below. Obviously, I will answer them. But obviously, it's nice to let's just say catch up. Thank you everyone for joining. Do drop your comments down below. As I said earlier on, I am going to be doing some sourcing this week. Wish me luck. And I chose a really bad week because my team managed to do 10,000 per VA on average last week, which means they are actually quite on fire. So yeah, if you want to know, I can leave you a link down below. 1 second, www.fasttrackfba.com/top. Hope that makes sense. Check that one out. Does that work? Did you get that? Did that course link? Check that one out. I think that's the one you're after. If you want to do that, that's the one. Is that right? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, check that one out. Sign up for that and join the weekly call. We do them on my team's on Wednesdays and my call's on a Thursday. You can join that. Super, super helpful. Yeah, that's going to just help get you where you need to be. And you'll just get the support that's going to help you out. That's such an important thing. So check that out. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a real pleasure. I wish you the best of luck in the week. Stay tuned, and I will be back next week, and I'm looking forward to catching up with you, obviously on time, and having conversations about what is going on in the Amazon space. Have a great week. Bye.